Hello class, it is story time. I hope you've had a great day so far. We have one last sense to talk about today. Can you think of which one's last? We'll get to that right after we do our pace. Had my drink. I'm going to find my belly button and right under my collarbone. Switch. All right, now it is time for our cross crawl. I think today I'm going to try to go to my feet with my hands. Ready for our last move? The pretzel. Cross those ankles, thumbs down, cross it over, clap it together, and flip it up. Unpretzel yourself, fingertips together, deep, deep breath. And we're ready for our story. So our last sense today is the sense of smell. I just need one more drink. The sense of smell. So I picked a book that reminds me of smell, the Gingerbread Man. I love the smell of gingerbread cookies, and I know that we love to read this one, so I thought it would be a great one for today. Looks like Mr. Tiger isn't so sure he likes this smell. He's got his nose covered. The Gingerbread Man, and this one is by Mara Alperin and illustrated by Miriam Latimer. The Gingerbread Man. Look at all those yummy treats they're making. Looks delicious. I bet it would smell delicious too in a bakery. Mr. and Mrs. Baker lived all alone. Day after day, they baked big gooey cakes and sweet crumbly pies and piping hot pastries. But they had no one to share them with, and that made them very sad. Then one day, Mrs. Baker made a little gingerbread man to cheer them both up. He had jolly jelly buttons and a big icing smile. Dusting the flour from her hands, she popped him into the oven. But to Mr. and Mrs. Baker's surprise, when the tray came out, the gingerbread man leaped up onto the table and began skipping through the sugar. Tee-hee-hee, you can't catch me, he giggled. Bless my cinnamon stars, cried Mrs. Baker as they chased him over pots and under pans all around the kitchen. But the gingerbread man was too quick for them, and he jumped right out the window. Scurrying along the path, the gingerbread man ran into a very hungry cow. You look tasty, mooed the cow, and what fine jelly buttons you have. But the gingerbread man just danced and pranced, singing, Run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. And off he ran as fast as his gingerbread legs could carry him. With a great big moo, the cow thundered after the gingerbread man, past the milk churns, through the barn, and around the haystack until, crash, the haystack tumbled over right on top of the cow. "Oh, milkshakes!" cried the very dizzy cow. The gingerbread man scampered up the hill. At the top was a very hungry goat. "Good day," bleated the goat. "I love munching thistles, but you look even better to eat." But the gingerbread man just whirled and twirled, singing, "Run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man." And off he zoomed, leaving a trail of gingerbread crumbs behind him. So the goat dashed off after the gingerbread man, through the thistles, over the gate, and in and out of the apple orchard until, smash! The goat butted right into a tree, and the apples came toppling down with a thud, thud, thud. "Oh, applesauce!" cried the goat, rubbing his head. "Tee-hee-hee!" laughed the gingerbread man as he frolicked through the meadow. There, dozing in a tree, was a very hungry cat. "Hello," meowed the cat. "You look like the perfect snack." But the gingerbread man just wiggled and giggled, singing, "Run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man." And off he whooshed, racing down the lane. Licking her lips, the cat chased the gingerbread man around the bush, through the daisies, and toward the pond. The cat leaped up, 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 and came down, down, splash, right in the middle of the cold, wet pond. "Oh, Whiskers," grumbled the very soggy cat. As the gingerbread man ran down the hill, he began to laugh and sing, "Tee-hee, I'm having fun. I've run away from everyone. A curly-haired woman, a man in a hat, a cow and a goat, and a silly old cat." But when the gingerbread man reached the riverbank, he stopped and shivered. "Too cold. How do I cross?" Just then, a fox appeared. "Hello, little gingerbread man," he grinned. "Maybe I can help you. Just climb on my tail, and I'll carry you across." "Ooh, too chilly," the gingerbread man squealed as the fox paddled into the river. "Then why don't you climb on my back?" asked the fox. Too wet," squeaked the gingerbread man as the water swirled at his feet. "Climb onto my head," smirked the fox. And the gingerbread man scrambled up. But the water rose higher still, so the gingerbread man climbed onto the top of the fox's nose. "Tee-hee-hee, they'll never catch me," he cried, just as the fox tossed the gingerbread man up, up, up in the air and opened his mouth wide, and snap! And that was the end of the gingerbread man. I bet it was yummy. "Oh dear," sighed Mrs. Baker. "What a naughty gingerbread man he was." "I'm still hungry," mooed the cow. "Me too," bleated the goat. "So am I," meowed the cat. Then Mr. Baker said, "Let's all go and bake something else together." So they all trotted back to the bakery to mix and stir cakes and pastries and pies, but no more gingerbread men. It was a fantastic feast, and with their 3 new friends, Mr. and Mrs. Baker were never lonely again. The end. All right, so that was our sense of smell we talked a little bit about during that book. Let's see if I can get that close enough. My nose can smell. So what could be in my mystery bag that smells? You can't smell it through my video, can you? What should my clues be? It's something that I got from my kitchen. So it's something from the kitchen. It's something that smells very strongly. It's got a big fragrance, a big smell to it. You use it when you bake. So it's found in the kitchen. It smells a lot. And you use it when you bake. Maybe that's why Mr. Tiger's covering his nose, because it smells so strongly. Can you think of something that maybe you help your parents or your older relatives, maybe an older sibling or an aunt or uncle? Can you think of something that would smell a lot when you're in the kitchen using it? I've got 2 examples to show you from the mystery bag. It's vanilla extract and mint. The peppermint we use, I use this sometimes actually when I make our Play-Doh. When our Play-Doh, sorry, showed you the wrong one. When we had our Play-Doh that smelled like a candy cane, this is what I used. I sprinkled some inside when I was making the Play-Doh. And that's what made that big strong smell. Now these don't taste very good on their own, but when you mix them in with some sugar in your baking, with the flour and the eggs and everything else, it can help your food taste yummy. So this one's vanilla, and I use that one usually when I'm maybe baking some cookies, or maybe some cupcakes or a cake, things like that. So that's what I found in my house that had a strong smell. What do you think you could put in a mystery bag that has a strong smell? I would love to see it if you found something, or maybe you found something from outside. Is there anything you can think of that's outside growing right now, growing in the ground that might have a strong smell? Give it some thoughts and see if you can find something. Maybe you can show your mom and dad, or put it in a mystery bag and you can show your class and me. Have a great rest of your night, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you next week.